occasion as the last and respected leader, but however, the chairman of the National Convention Planning Committee, who have done immensely well since yesterday. In fact, please, can we give Governor Lee Elimoke Trigbosa? The ADC appreciate you, sir. We thank you immensely for your service to the party. The deputy chairman of the committee, former speaker of the House of Reps, two-time governor of Sokoto State, and by the grace of God, a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the people's man, Alhaji Waziri Tambuwal. Distinguished senators, because of time, distinguished senators, honorable members, distinguished zonal and state leaders, distinguished delegates, members of the diplomatic corps. Before now, the Chinese ambassador was here and we had a problem communicating because he spoke Chinese to me and I laughed. I said, oh, Chinese. And I remember what Jackie Chan used to say. I said, kwe. So he was here. We also have members of the diplomatic corps, our dear, very loyal and committed members of the African Democratic Congress, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We all appreciate you and we welcome you to this very, very important occasion. Our prayer is that our efforts to salvage Nigeria from economic cankerworms and political scavengers will not be in vain. God will help us. Now I'm going to hand over the microphone to my colleague who will be inviting the chairman of the planning committee to deliver his speech.
Please join me to put our hands together for the one and only SDM, Senator Dino Melaye. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Charles Ojubana, and I'm extremely a proud Nigerian to be in this hall with all of you, because today is a defining moment for our country. Many of you have been here for hours, sweating like me, without AC, without fan, but you have refused to give up. That is the Nigerian spirit. What we are doing here today is just so that Nigeria may work. This country is blessed abundantly and it has to work. The road to victory can be very rough, as you can see. And we want to apologize to all our dignitaries, your excellencies, distinguished guests and delegates from all over Nigeria for all the inconveniences you have experienced before now. But I tell you what, Nigeria has arrived. After today, like they say in pidgin parlance, everybody in this country will know that iron must bend. This evening, it will be clear to everybody that the blind will see, the deaf will hear, and even the dumb will testify that the African Democratic Congress is the only vehicle that will lead us to the promised land. A few years ago, my friend and brother, Professor Pat Utomi, who is here, started what they call the big tent to accommodate everybody in this country. And that is what we have succeeded in doing. This coalition has turned out to be that big tent to accommodate all of us. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and pleasure to kickstart this event by inviting an officer and a gentleman, a one-time governor and a one-time minister, Senate President, plenipotentiary, a general, a devout Catholic.
You are calling chairman of convention.
Oh, sorry. Before I call on him, let me invite the man who has spent the past few weeks, endless nights, planning, plotting, preparing, coordinating. When you see him, you mistake him for somebody who may not deliver. But I've worked with him closely, even when he was in Cross River State as governor, and I know that distinguished Senator Liel Imoke is not only an astute politician, but a mobilizer. So please join me together as I welcome the chairman of the National Convention Planning Committee to address us. Put your hands together for Senator Liel Imoke.
While we are waiting for the performing chairman of the planning committee, I want to respectfully recognize the former Attorney General of the Federation, Comrade Malami. Please, let us clap for him. He has been upgraded to the status of a comrade. Thank you very much for coming. I also want to recognize the founding chairman of APC, former governor of Edo State, our father, our grandfather, John Oyegun. You are welcome, Daddy.
We are ADC. We are ADC.
ADC. We have a very excited crowd. We would like to appeal to the crowd to please move back. Please move back. You're blocking the cameras and you are causing a problem for the viewers, for the delegates. Please, we appeal to you to go back. Go back, please. There are many seats at the back. Please go back. Please go back. Please go back. If you don't have a seat, please go back. Please go back. If you don't have a seat, please go back.
Da Allah waɗanda kuke tsakiyan wannan zaure da Allah ku matsa baya. A matsa baya saboda akwai manya-manyan na'urori da suke ɗaukan hoton wannan taro. Idan kuka tsaya a tsakiya kun kare waɗannan na'urori ga sunan kamera na manya-manyan gidajen talabijin. To idan kuka rufe su ba yadda za su gani a gidajenku da garuruwa da kuma birane da suke da dubbai kuma miliyoyin waɗanda suke mabiya wannan jam'iyya. Saboda haka da Allah waɗanda kuke tsakiya kowa ya ja gefe ta hagu ko ta dama ya samu wuri ya zauna. Those of you in the center, kindly locate a place for yourself to the right or to the left side of this conference hall. Thank you. Those of you, we repeat again, in the middle of this hall, we ask you, and I beg you, in the name of God, who has created this winning party, if you love the AD, secure a place to the right or to the left. and make the center free so that the cameras can capture this historic moment. It is important that we all get the signals out of this conference hall to the rest of the world. Jama'a muna daɗa nanata muku, muna roƙonku da Allah, waɗanda kuke tsakiya ku yi baya can ƙuriya, ko kuma ku je dama ko kuma hagu, ku samu wurare ko kuma samu wuri ku tsaya. Muna gode muku kwarai.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellency, the National Chairman of our great party, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator David Bonaventure Mark, the National Secretary of our great party, His Excellency Ogbeni Ralph Oregbeshola. You have to forgive me, in the last 48 hours I've lost my voice. But let me recognize the distinguished leaders here. For want of time, let me stand on the established protocol. Distinguished leaders of our great party, members of the National Working Committee, respected elders, delegates from across our states and local governments, our women and our youth, coalition partners, esteemed guests, and fellow Nigerians. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to the 2026 convention of the African Democratic Congress. We gather here today at a defining moment in the life of our nation. This is not merely a convention. It is a convergence of purpose, a meeting of minds, and a demonstration of our collective resolve to build a better Nigeria. This coming together is not an accident. It is not accidental. It is in response to a national need. It is driven by a shared recognition that the challenges facing our country require a unity of purpose and clarity of vision. We have all seen the direction in which our country is heading. We have witnessed increased insecurity that threatens lives and livelihoods. We have observed troubling erosion of the rule of law. We have seen a shrinking democratic space. And this has limited the participation and also weakened trust. We have experienced a rising cost of living that places enormous pressure on ordinary Nigerians. These realities are difficult, but they are also clarifying. They compel us to define with precision the kind of country we want to build. One thing that has particularly struck me in the course of preparing for this convention is the determination of our members and our leaders. In the run-up to the convention, we encountered several obstacles. Some of you must have seen this in the media. Legal challenges were brought against us yet we moved forward. There were attempts to prevent us from accessing venues, yet we moved forward. Even as recently as last night, there were efforts to pressure the owner of this venue to cancel our reservation. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here. What is most remarkable is not just that we overcame these challenges, but how we did so. I saw leaders and members arrive early and stay late, not out of obligation, but out of commitment. I saw committee meetings outside, on the grass, and all over the place. Committees were meeting, even in the most adverse of circumstances and conditions. They were improvising where necessary and ensuring that every detail was attended to. The committees, the members, and the leadership all came together. And for the first time in politics, I saw leaders contributing personal resources towards the convention. This is unprecedented. ADC! The spirit is very, very instructive. It's something important about who we are becoming. With every obstacle, we have grown closer. With every challenge, we have become more convinced that this party represents a real opportunity to renew our nation. It is strengthened on our belief that the African Democratic Congress is the most credible party and the pathway for the future of Nigeria. As we proceed with the activities of this convention, let us engage thoughtfully, decide wisely, and act in ways that reflect the trust of Nigerians. I want to welcome everyone to the 2026 ADC convention. Together, we shall continue this journey. Together, we shall work as a team, and like the theme says, so that Nigeria will work again. Thank you, and God bless us all. Again, I have the great honor and privilege of inviting the national chairman of our great party, His Excellency, distinguished Senator David Bonaventure Mark, GCON, Chairman of the ADC, former Senate President, and many more. The one who has led us as a team, the one who has assigned us responsibilities, and the one who has challenged us to deliver on every assignment he has given to us. A great leader indeed.
A round of applause.
A quiet man, a mentor, but one who is firm and committed to the future of our great country. His Excellency, the national chairman, is going to address the convention and declare the convention open.
Yes, while we are waiting for the national chairman to get to the podium, quickly I want to recognize the secretary of the planning committee who has been on his toes since yesterday, Dr. Ajuji. Please, a round of applause. Former governor of Enugu State, Achike Udenwa, you are well recognized. Ajay Najatu, we are well recognized. Former governor of Kwara State, Governor Fatai, and the leader of our party in Kwara, you are recognized. We also want to recognize Professor Pat Utomi, former Governor Kabiru Gaya, and former Governor Sam Egu. You are all welcome. Now the voice of David is about to kill Goliath.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished delegates, before I do anything, can I remind us that today marks 12 years since our Chibok girls were kidnapped. We have lost so many generals and our military servicemen. May we please stand up for 1 minute silence for the repose of their souls and for those who are not back yet to be back to us. May the souls of all our departed brothers and sisters rest in perfect peace. Distinguished delegates, esteemed leaders, respected members of the National Working Committee, party elders, youth and women, defenders of democracy, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you, not merely to a convention, but to a moment that history will remember for a long time. Years from now, Nigerians will look back at this day. Today, Tuesday, the 14th of April, 2026, and ask, where were you when the ADC stood up? Where were you when the government made every attempt to silence the voice of the people? And in response, thousands of sons and daughters of Nigeria gathered today in Abuja and said unequivocally, democracy will not die on our watch. Those of you who are here will be proud to say we were present. Today answers that question. You will be among those who answered loud and clear that we were here. And their presence alone is an act of courage. This is the first national convention of the African Democratic Congress under my leadership as national chairman. And let me be very clear. Most significant gatherings in recent Nigerian democratic history. Not because of who stands on this podium, but because of what this convention represents. It represents unyielding survival of opposition democracy in Nigeria. The African Democratic Congress was founded on conviction and a strong belief that politics must be a call to service and not a ladder for personal ambitions. I am deeply honored by the confidence reposed in me to lead this great party at this critical time. I accepted this responsibility with humility. I accepted it with a clear sense of duty. And I accepted it with an unshakable commitment to reposition the ADC as a platform through which Nigeria will be rescued and rebuilt. Since we started this journey, we have faced many challenges and faced many hurdles. Our party has faced fierce and unprecedented betrayal. Let us not pretend otherwise. Recent developments involving the independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, have raised fundamental questions about the process that governs our democracy. Forces that feared what a united ADC represents came for us through the courts, through institutions, through bureaucratic obstructions. They sought to stop this convention from happening. They removed our names from official portals. They denied us preferred venues. They deployed every instrument available to them to ensure that you, the delegates, the members, the owners of this party would never gather. But here we are. At our recent press briefing, we made it clear that the integrity of democratic institutions must be protected. We also made it clear that in an ever-shrinking democratic space that is orchestrated by those in the ruling party, the ADC will not cower and we will not retreat. Dear party members, and let me remind all of us, strong political movements are not built in moments of ease and comfort. They are built in times like this, when a broken nation cries out for change, and the people look for those who would lead with commitment, honesty, integrity, and courage. We will not surrender, because what is at stake is not just about the ADC or the opposition. It is the very survival of democracy. To surrender, therefore, is to yield the ground to tyranny and therefore become complicit in the destruction of our democracy. And let that be the answer to every doubt, every threat, and every shenanigan designed to keep Nigeria trapped in a one-party future. The ADC cannot be wished away. The ADC cannot be litigated into silence. The ADC belongs to the Nigerian people, and the Nigerian people have spoken by showing up in their large numbers here today. I say to those who orchestrated these obstacles, you have not weakened us. You have welded us together. Every attempt to suppress this party has only deepened the resolve of our members, widened our coalition, and reminded Nigerians why a strong opposition is not optional. It is essential to democracy's survival. Across Nigeria, there is a growing awareness by a generation that desires a different country, a country that nurtures their talents and supports their ambitions. This generation is asking tough questions of leadership and those who seek to lead. We are greatly delighted to see that under the harsh light of this scrutiny, the African Democratic Congress is emerging as a credible alternative. Not necessarily because of who we are, but because our vision and our ambition align with their own. The reason we are here, the genuine recommitment to putting the people first, is the very reason that they continue to believe, despite the daunting challenges that they face today, that Nigeria, this great country, will rediscover itself. We in the African Democratic Congress recognize this moment as a moment of great opportunity, as well as a moment of great responsibility. Our objective is not merely political success or a mere quest for power. We see it as a duty to ourselves and to posterity to demonstrate to all Nigerians that something good can come out of politics, and that democracy can actually deliver a better life than they seek. This is the fundamental goal of our party. We view this as a generational challenge, and this is why we say to all opposition leaders in the country, regardless of their political party, come, let us work together to save our country. The challenges that we are confronted with goes beyond partisanship. it is a patriotic duty to rescue our country from creeping dictatorship and exploitative governance. Dear party men and women, let me congratulate us all for the successful conduct of our congresses. Despite the obstacles put on our way, we have stayed focused on the bigger picture. And together, we scaled through those difficulties to deliver a successful and credible Congress across the length and breadth of the country. This shows that we are successfully planting our roots in villages and communities across the length and breadth of our country, that we are providing platforms for millions of our people to participate in the process of governing their own country. This is the very essence of democracy. To those who have emerged as leaders at the local and state levels, I extend my congratulations. Your emergence carries responsibility. Leadership within this party must always be defined by service and accountability. You must also recognize that you are a coalition, a coming together of diverse voices, experiences, and aspirations. Therefore, you must lead with a deep sense of responsibility and openness and inclusion. Your doors must remain open to all members of this coalition and to others who are inspired to join us on this journey. Leadership in this moment demands not exclusion, but expansion, not control, but coordination, not narrow interest, but a broad commitment to unity and shared purpose. To those who did not emerge, I encourage you to remain committed. Political contents are part of democratic life, but the unity and progress of the party must always come first. We are engaged in the deliberate task of building a party that can stand the test of time. The foundational principles of this party are clear. They are transparency, accountability, and participation. These are not abstract ideals. They are principles that must guide our daily actions and the standards by which we will judge ourselves. In the ADC, the Constitution will be supreme. The party will be supreme. Every member, regardless of position, will be accountable to the rules and values that define us. No member of this party, no matter how highly placed, will be bigger than the party. And no member, no matter how lowly placed, will be ignored. This is my personal commitment to all of you. In ADC, we shall return politics to its true purpose, which is to improve the lives of the people. This is the central ideology of our party, to make life better for the people. ADC will not allow the market to determine the quality of lives of our people. We will protect them. The resources of Nigeria will be deployed in the service of majority of Nigerians. We will invest in our people and make them more productive and more competitive. We will protect the people and provide the environment for them to thrive. Let me therefore reiterate, no one elected or appointed on the platform of ADC will have the discretion to decide what to do with power. Ours is a solemn commitment. To fly the banner of the ADC is to fly the banner of commitment to service. We will hold every elected and appointed officials of our party accountable. The party will insist that we deliver on the promises that we've made to the people. Great moments of transformation do not announce themselves with a bang. They reveal themselves through the decisions that people make and the direction that political parties and politicians choose to take. I therefore harbor no doubts that if we remain disciplined, if we remain united, and if we remain committed to our principles, this party will play a defining role in shaping the future of this country. Further generations may look back at this period as the point when, regardless of what has happened in the past, we chose a different path, defined by the realization that this great country has to rise and meet its destiny. Great moments of transformation do not announce themselves with a bang. They reveal themselves through the decisions that people make and the direction that political parties and the politicians choose to take. I therefore harbor no doubt that if we remain disciplined, if we remain united, and if we remain committed to our principles, this party will play a defining role in shaping the future of this country. Future generations may look back at this period as a point when, regardless of what has happened in the past, we chose a different path, defined by the realization that this great country has to rise and meet its destiny as the greatest black nation on earth. It is with great pride and pleasure that I therefore declare this 8th National Convention of the African Democratic Congress open. I wish all of you a successful convention and safe journey back to your respective destinations. God bless all of us. God bless the African Democratic Congress. And God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
We are ready.
Another round of applause to the national chairman of our party. Thank you very much. Give us the music now, please.
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars, when the world felt small.
Thank you. Please, can we give another big round of applause? It was the legendary Bob Marley who said, "Who the cap fits, let them wear it." When you want to fight anti-democratic forces, you choose a general. So the ADC has chosen very well. Congratulations, sir. Now, I need to inform you that what we are doing here goes beyond Abuja and beyond Nigeria. The international community has taken very special interest in what is happening, and as Dino told you earlier today, we had some diplomats from the Chinese embassy. I'm happy to announce that the British High Commission is fully represented here by a 3-man delegation led by the Second Secretary Political, Mr. Thomas Simpson. Please put your hands together for him. He's here with Hamish Say and Damilola Oyedele. You're all welcome.
Thank you very much. Earlier, I announced that the Chinese ambassador was here. I've just been informed now that the Norwegian ambassador is also on his way coming here. We thank him for his presence. We also want to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency Ekwezezi Nwodo, the former governor of Enugu State. And my apology, Chike Udenwa is former governor of Imo State. I also want to appreciate SS Lawal Daura is elegantly sitting here. As we continue, we'll be appreciating all our members. We have appreciated all the senators, but specifically the senator representing FCT is elegantly attired and cosmopolitanly fashioned, sitting close to Governor Amechi Ireti Kingigbe. Without wasting much of our time, I want to invite Amaka to now invite the secretary, national secretary of our party, to deliver his state of the party affairs.
Okay, Amaka has asked me to help her out here, and she will take the next item on the agenda. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together.
Thank you very much, my brother and colleague. Just before you invite the national secretary, I also want to appreciate the presence of the former governor of Adamawa State, Say Bindo, is also here. You are welcome, Governor Bindo.
And of course, our women folk are heavily represented. We have party bigwigs like Loretta Onoche here. Dino has told you about Najatu Mohammed, and even Aisha Yusufu from faraway Brazil is keyed in online as we're doing this. Zainab Boni Aruna is also here. So on behalf of the organizing committee, we welcome the women folk. You're all welcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome the National Secretary of the African Democratic Congress, a man who has been a one-time governor of Osun State. He has been a former Minister of Internal Affairs. And despite all the exalted positions he has held, he has rejected the appellation His Excellency. So permit me to just introduce Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. Please put your hands together for him.
As we're expecting Governor Aregbesola to come, we also want to recognize that the whole Jigawa State is here, and they are being represented by His Excellency Ahmed Mahmoud. You are welcome. Former Governor of Kano State, Kabiru Gaya, is in our midst. You are welcome.
ẹni abáwa orí o mà gbọ́dọ̀ fọ́ òun là bá wa ń lé o àrẹ̀mú alárẹ̀mú là bá wá àrẹ̀mú là bá wá àrẹ̀mú là bá wá ẹni abáwa orí o mà gbọ́dọ̀ fọ́ àrẹ̀mú là bá wa ń lé o àrẹ̀mú là bá alárẹ̀mú ò ṣe bínú sí àrẹ̀mú ò ṣe bínú sí ẹni bínú nílẹ̀ yìí yóò ta sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà àkànrí sólè áfíríkù padà ro sáré wá wo ìtànà ògo 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 olúwa ni ògo tí mo wí yẹn tàn débi pé láì tànà tó tànà kan ò wálẹ̀ tó kò séèyàn tó máa lóhùn ò máa rẹ́gbẹ́ tambua tábà tó sọ lóhùn ò máa rẹ́gbẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ́ fi sílẹ̀ bóyá oníyẹn ò jáde rí o àìfàìmọ̀ bóyá nù lẹ̀ ló ń gbé ìjàmbáyé lórí ilẹ̀ láti lóko àwa làwa ní òrò tóró fi ń ké làwa pọ́n wọn lé o káyé tó máa pọ́n wọn lé àwọn táwa pọ́nlé tá fẹ́ máa yẹ̀yẹ́ lọ́jọ́ tá a bá pinnu láti máa yẹ̀yẹ́ wọn tágélógò ló dẹni nígbà tá a bá ṣe tán tẹ́ pa wà là ebi yìí ni ò jẹ́ nígbà tá a bá wé sọ mi bá wà là ń ṣe etí yìí ni ò jẹ́ gbọ́n àwa kì í ṣe ohun tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ lẹ ṣe béèrè orí yìí ò dáa orí yìí ò dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ pa wà là bẹ́ẹ̀ pa wà là ń ṣe yín bẹ́ẹ̀ pa wà là ń ṣe yín orí yìí ò dáa.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Please, can we clap for them? This is the display by Comrade Ogbeni, and this has proven that he's Omoluabi. Thank you very much, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, for this great entertainment. I know it has motivated you to deliver a better speech. Thank you. But please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
وقل الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا اله الا الله الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر ولا حول ولا قوة ولا حول ولا قوة ولا حول ولا قوة. You will indulge my spirituality. That is how I start every public opportunity I have to speak. Bear with me if you are not a Muslim. All I simply said in Arabic is that God, you are the greatest. All adoration, all obeisance belong to you. I titled this report of the state of affairs of the ADC, which I'm statutorily required to give. At this convention, ADC is unstoppable. ADC is it is the son of Nigeria. ADC is unstoppable because it's the son of Nigeria. That's the title of this report. That's totally required of me to give here. Having expressed my own appreciation of the Almighty, I recognize the chairman of our party, Senator David Mark, all our leaders, dignitaries, members of the National Working Committee, members of the National Executive Committee, chairman and members of the Convention Planning Committee and the subcommittees, as I do recognize and welcome all delegates to this historic occasion. As the chairman said, it's not just the 2026 convention of the party, it's the 8th convention of the Democratic Congress. We are here today. Please, pardon me. I recognize all who are here. Chinese diplomats who had come but had to leave because of some certain delays we had to commence this program. I recognize the British envoy that is here. I recognize all the others who had indicated desires to be here, but are now watching us at their various residences. We appreciate you and we recognize you. We are here today holding the 8th National Convention of the African Democratic Congress. Despite all desperate attempts of the ruling party and the anti-democratic forces, including the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to emasculate our party. Just as no power can stop the sun from rising, so can the ADC not be stopped. At no other time in our history as a country has the moral compass been so shamelessly been bent as it is today. People who deliberately split the People's Democratic Party are today being forcibly robbed as political strategists. Since when has criminality become a strategy? The ADC does not and will never owe its existence to any individual or group, including an electoral body masquerading as a neutral umpire with its leadership. in the attire of a political partisanship. The ADC derives its existence from the aspirations and will of the Nigerian people who are tired of the deceit and colossal mismanagement to which this country is being subjugated. We owe our existence to the Nigerian Constitution, which declares that freedom of association, including that to form or belong to any political party, is guaranteed and is a fundamental right. We are here because the ADC is on a rescue mission to prise the country from the strangulating grasp of the ruling party. The APC is a party which has foisted on the country an electoral law that states forgery and making false claims in electoral documents is no longer a punishable electoral offense. In other words, the ruling party is decriminalizing criminality. We proclaim our existence because our country is worth unnecessary sacrifices. We cannot allow kakistocracy in Nigeria. We cannot allow kakistocracy in Nigeria. The government's claim that the recent reduction in the exchange rate shows its mastery of economics. This is false. In truth, the exchange rate, which was about 700 naira to the dollar at the open market, not the official, at the open market, when this government assumed office in 2023, is now about 1,400. This amount to a 100% devaluation in an import-dependent economy. This is terribly devastating. The cost of a liter of fuel was before this administration between 185 and 238 naira, depending on the part of country you are. Now it is about 1,400 per liter and still rising. Cost of transportation is now so prohibitive that it has become unrealistic for some workers to go to work. The administration told Nigerians that if it does not solve the power problem by providing current constant power supply, it should not be voted for a second term. Today, power supply is far worse, with some parts of the country receiving an average of 2 hours daily, and some being in darkness for a stretch of weeks and months. Ordinarily, having made such a promise and failed woefully, an honest president should simply step down and not seek re-election. ADC! Rather, what we are witnessing is the most desperate attempt by a candidate in the Nigerian electoral history to retain power at all costs, even if it means bringing down the entire democratic system. Distinguished delegates and our rival leaders, 4 years ago, this government promised Nigerians renewed hope. Now, 3 years into its 4-year term or tenure, it is still promising renewed hope. When exactly will this hope come into fruition? The answer is simple. It is a scam. The answer is what? A scam. If allowed, this regime will continue chanting renewed hope to eternity. We have the duty to stop scammers from retaining power. ADC! We have the duty to stop these scammers from retaining power. ADC! As for education, the number of out-of-school children we used to be 18.3 million has lending to some 20 million. Equally, far more children due to neglect and inability of their parents to take care of them are being railroaded by the government into extreme poverty and criminality. Today, 130 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. 130 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. Let us all shout shame. Once again, shame. Once again, shame. Delegates and leaders, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the worst time in terms of security in the nation, with banditry and terrorism spreading across the country. But also worrying is the marked lack of empathy by the rudderless presidency. After the 2025 Yewata massacres in Benue State, the president supposedly on a condolence trip did not visit the affected community. Rather, he had court in the Benue State government house and returned thereafter to safety in Abuja. Again, in 2026, after the Angua Rukuba killings in Jos, rather than visit the affected community, the president stayed put at the Jos airport, which is 40 minutes drive from the city, and had the surviving victims and families brought to him, and was even quoted to have said that he must leave urgently because there will be no power supply at the airport. Once again, shout shame. Distinguished delegates, the country is in dire straits, and we cannot allow this continued drift into hopelessness. This is why, as was pointed out earlier, the ADC is on a rescue mission. On this, there is no time to spare. We call on all conscientious citizens to join us, because a fence sitter in moments like this that require decisiveness is either a traitor or a collaborator with those who seek to destroy our country. Our party, the African Democratic Congress ADC, has within 9 months of its July 2, 2025 unveiling in Abuja, transformed into the main opposition party in Nigeria. It has also become the minority party in the National Assembly. Clap for ourselves. Let's clap for ourselves. As well as the hope of the Nigerian people for their liberation from the clutches of the ruling party. We have spent the last 9 months consolidating our structures across the country and repositioning for the patriotic duty of providing leadership for our country by the grace of God in 2027. The birth of the new ADC. It is necessary to explain to our party members and the generality of Nigerian people the process that led to the birth of the new ADC. On March 27, 2025, the ADC National Executive Congress (NEC) met at the party's national headquarters in Abuja. The meeting, among other matters, decided to waive the provisions of Articles